नित्यशुद्धविमुक्तोऽहं निराकारोऽहमच्युतः भूमानन्दस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः. Let's start our discussion on Shiva Samhita and today's topic from 28 to 32 shlokas. So far we have discussed about Nitya Naimittika Kama Karmas, and each karma is generally divided into two: Vidhi Karma and Nishedha Karma. Then a Karma Yogi, in front of this Karma Yogi there are two type of karma: Punya Karma and Papa Karma. And a wise yogi should select first Punya Karma, and next step he has to renounce a result of all type of karma. Then his inner sense will purify, attachment and aversion drop away. In such a pure mind, the real true nature of God, which is none different from the self, clearly manifests. The discipline of jnana is the direct and immediate cause of salvation, while karma yoga is the indirect cause. By the practice of karma yoga, the inner sense is purified and one becomes competent to practice jnana yoga, which in turn result in salvation. The point is that the end result of both spiritual disciplines is the attainment of salvation, as both these disciplines eventually give the same result. The 28th shloka. Papa bhogavasane tu punarjanmam bhaved khalu punya bhogavasane tu nanyadha bhavati dhruvam swargebi dukkha sambhoga parashri darshanadishu tato dukkhamidam sarvam bhavednastyatra samshayah. Tatkarma kalpagai proktam punyam papamidi dvidha punya papamayo bandho dehinam bhavadikramat ihamutra bhaladveshi sabhalam karma santejet nitya naimittikam sapnyam tektva yogo pravartade. Karma kandasya mahatmyam jnatva yogi tyajet sudhi punya papadvayam tektva jnanakande pravartite. Papabhoga avasanetu punarjanma bhaved khalu punya bhoga avasane tu na anyatha bhavati dhruva. Punarjanmam bhaved khalu. Punarjanmam means rebirth. It is the belief of Hinduism and Buddhism. So this rebirth is sure when Papa Bhoga Avasane, at the end of the result of evil action. So what will be the result of punya karma? Punya bhoga avasane tu. And at this stage also, na anyada bhavati dhruvam, result is the same. That means both punya karma and papa karma leads to rebirth and rebirth. Because this result from punya karma and papa karma, which leads to bondage. So yogi, while doing karma, whether it is punya karma or papa karma, he has to renounce the result of this action. Generally, in many people get attached to the work. They like some kind of work and they take interest in it. They dislike some other kind of work. They are unwilling to leave it to also. If conditions want to be stopped, they take undue responsibility on their shoulders. Pain and labor under care, worries and anxieties. This is not yoga at all, because there is attachment to the work on into the quality of rajas. Worldly people always work with attachment, hence they suffer. And if there is a divine call, simply obey the divine call and act like a soldier on the battlefield. And there is a joy in such a kind of work, because there is no personal element here. But this is not the real picture. In real life, surge api dukkha sambhogaha, even in heaven there is experience of pain. How? Para Sri Darshanadishu, Parasri Darshanam, Parasya Shri, prosperity of others, Darshanadishu. So by seeing the prosperity of others, generally people experiencing pain, and even if he is in heaven, tato dukkhamidam sarvam. So idam sarvam, the entire worldly life is dukkha. Bhaved nasti atra samshaya. There is no doubt that the entire worldly life is full of sorrow. And this is the same fact declared by Shankaracharya, Lokam Shoka Hatancha Samastham. And Buddha's main theory was Dukkham. And the main cause of this Dukkha is Trishna. And there are remedies he has given as advice. Ashtanga Marga. Shankaracharya also, or other systems of Indian philosophies also presented upayas. Yoga, Ashtanga Marga, Ashtanga Yoga also is a better option. So dukkha is certain. Adhyatmika dukkha, adi bhaudika dukkha, adi deivika dukkha. Usually we are chanting at the end of each and every mantra, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. For what? For to overcome sorrows, dukkha, adhyatmika dukkha, adi bhaudika dukkha, adi daivika dukkha. The 30th shloka says that Tat karma kalpakai proktam Tat karma kalpakaihi proktam punyam papam idi dvidha punya papamayo bandho dehinam bhavati kramas. Punyam papamidi dvidha. So there is the karma is generally divided into two, punya karma and papa karma, good deeds and bad deeds. Who has classified this? Karma kalpakaihi, karma yogins. And they says that punya papamayo bandha dehinam bhavati kramas. Bandham means bondage. So the bondage is sure while doing punya karma or papa karma, because dehinam bhavati kramas. This is the natural end of almost all creatures. In this situation, a wise person, he has to consult Guru, and as per the direction of this Guru, he has to do his margas, ashtanga margas or sadhanas or upasana. Then he can overcome or free from this bondage. It says that Iha amutra. Iha means here, amutra means there, in this world and that world. Bhaladveshi bhavait. Bhaladveshi means one should renounce, give up the result of karma in this janma and that janma. So ihamutra bhaladveshi sabhalam karmam santyajed. Santyajed means renounce. What? Sabhalam, phalam, result of action. Renounce the result of all actions in this or next world. And nitya naimittikam sabnyam taktva. This nitya karma, naimittika karma also should give up. Then what he has to do? Yogo pravartate. He has to practice this yoga, the path of yoga. And karma kandasya mahatmam jnatva. Yogi tejed sudhihi. So the sudhi yogi means wise yogi. Karma kandasya mahatmam jnatva. Knowing the importance of this karma kanda. Then punya papa dvayam tektva. Give up, renounce, result of punya and papa. Then jnana kande pravartita. He has to practice jnana kanda. See, there is a karma where one has risen above ego and desires. A karma that is free of selfishness, greed and self-centered motive. Divested of these negative traits, karma can become a factor for one's release by becoming a sadhana. It is in this context that the word yoga is coupled together with the word karma, and from this one gets the term karma yoga. Karma is then an activity done as a means of becoming united with the universal consciousness, and is not longer a bondage but a yoga, a spiritual process and release. It is necessary that each and every seeking soul understand this process. No one can be free from activity, but if this activity is done in the way that is normally done by the vast majority of people, one is sure to get enmeshed in bondage. But we are often told that karma, upasana and jnana are the three stages of spiritual attainment. But in real life, we are unable to free ourselves totally from selfishness in our day-to-day life. We have some selfishness always. A subtle selfishness is there, even in the most advanced spiritual personalities. It can be got over only by exercising an unselfish attitude towards other people, which is easily called service. This unselfish service to others is very important. And service does not necessarily mean providing physical amenities to people, though that also is a part of service. A charitable disposition towards others is the essence of service. Charity of feeling is the greatest of charity. So this is the essence of Karma Yoga. That means whenever we are here in this universe, the doctrine of karma is highly essential. It is a practical philosophy. And for this purpose, what are the steps a sadhaka should take is going to be discussed in the coming shlokas. So we will discuss that points while discussing next shlokas.